What is going on, everybody? I am the FDGURU, bringing to you guys a Tuesday NBA edition of my DFS podcast. We have 8 games on the main slate tonight, coming off of a really nice Monday, sweeping the board with all lineups. So let's continue that momentum. Always love when we can get a nice sweep out there and benefit everyone. We have another, decent amount of games. We only had 4 yesterday, but 6 on the DraftKings slate. But now we have 8 on this slate, leaving out the 10 o'clock game between the Suns and Nuggets. Last night's lineups were great. They all scored, well over 350, I think. We had to, hopefully everyone got that change in. I had Jordan Goodwin in, but he wasn't in the starting lineup, and whenever they do that, they sometimes just don't play him. So, the updates were big because I got Delano Banton in there, who was a huge value piece for the hurt Blazers. And then other guys. I mean, we had Bobby Portis, John Collins, and Damian Lillard and Clarkson on all lineups, and they all absolutely smashed. This was the GPP lineup. If Jabari Walker did a little bit better, we would have really been pushing up in tournaments. The cash team did well. Cash and GPP, I had Colin Sexton in there as well. 48 fantasy points. Just great production all around. And then the hybrid didn't have Sexton, but it did have, Kawhi Leonard did all right. He kind of screwed me on a couple of other things, but overall, just a ton of smash plays. So hopefully we can do that again tonight. As usual, I'm giving you guys 5 value plays on this slate. We have a lot of questionable guys. Some pretty big news that's already dropped for this slate. Again, just give this video a like, subscribe, and put my alerts on so you don't miss any future videos. I'm going to talk about the injury, guys, to kick off the video because I always forget to mention it until later in the video. It's just a good starting point when discussing the slate. So for that first game between the Magic and the Hornets, we have Nick Richards questionable. And then guys like Seth Curry, Cody Martin, and LaMelo Ball continue to be out. So you'll probably see Misic start again next to Trey Mann. Could end up being a value piece. He's been pretty good as of late. The Celtics and Cavs game definitely have some big things. We already got Donovan Mitchell ruled out for the next few games. He got an injection in his knee or something. Porzingis and Jaylen Brown are both questionable, so that's obviously a big deal. Porzingis missed last game. You got Okoro and LeVert questionable for the Cavs. There's already value for the Cavs, but if LeVert and or Okoro were to miss, we'd be looking at guys like Sam Merrill again. Detroit and Miami, nothing to really wait on. We have Kevin Love, Tyler Hero, and Josh Richardson already ruled out. That opens up some value for the Heat. Great matchup against the Pistons. Huge news about an hour before I made this video for the Sixers and Nets game. We got Tyrese Maxey ruled out with a concussion. So now we're looking like the 76ers are going to be a great value team here in Brooklyn with no Tyrese Maxey and obviously no Joel Embiid. I'll touch upon that in a little bit. I have a value play from the Sixers in my picks. Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas ruled out again for the Nets on the other side. Hawks, we still have Trae Young and Okongwu out, but nothing to wait on. We are waiting on Jalen Brunson for the Knicks. That's obviously a big piece. Pelicans in Toronto. We have a lot of games at 7:30 tonight. 5 games at 7:30 Eastern. Pelicans and Raptors. Scotty Barnes remains out. Outside of that, nothing to really, worry about or to wait on. We already know Jakob Poeltl's out too. That's going to open up a chalk value play for tonight. Spurs and Rockets. Great DFS game. Champagny is questionable and Victor Wembanyama, so that's obviously a big piece as well, with Wembanyama being questionable for a shoulder. So we'll have to see what happens there. 8 o'clock game. And then the Pacers and Mavericks. We have Luka Doncic questionable, which he usually plays. The note says it is an ankle, which is a new thing for him. So As you can see here, a new issue for Doncic, but he usually plays through questionable tags. We'll have to wait and see. Biggest over-under by far on this slate, the Pacers and Mavs, 246.5. A lot of really low over-unders on this slate. But that's the injury stuff. There's a lot. We'll get right into my plays, though. For point guard, no Donovan Mitchell, potentially no Karis LeVert, Isaiah Okoro. Darius Garland just shapes out really well. Not the best matchup against the Celtics, but he is at home. It's an 8-point spread, so, not a crazy blowout risk. If Porzingis is out tonight, I do think the Celtics, the Celtics are the best team in the league, but I do think there's a chance they struggle a little bit if Porzingis is out, because Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, they're no joke as a front court. They're going to be really hard to defend if Porzingis is out. For that reason, I do think Porzingis is really going to try to play tonight. But regardless, it's an 8-point spread. Garland, his price has gone up to $7,600, but he has shown that he deserves to have his price, risen because of no Donovan Mitchell. He's been playing really well. He's going to be the number one guy on this team tonight. Another thing, no Max Strus tonight either. So, the Cavs are really, really banged up. We'll have to see what happens with LeVert and Okoro. We do know Garland's going to be playing, and he's going to be playing 36 to 40 minutes. He's going to grade out as a fantasy point per minute guy. Been right around value over the last 3 games, playing, big minutes without Mitchell. He looks like one of the better value plays in middle to high tier spend ups as of right now. In terms of other point guards, just because I do want to talk about it, Misic looks pretty good at 4,800. He's going to be starting. He played 35 minutes against the Raptors. He will most likely start again now that we know that Seth Curry and Cody Martin are both out. Kind of tough to not like Misic. The only negative here is it's a 1 out of 10 matchup against the Magic. It's a 207 over-under. And then one other thing we want to talk about for Maxey. I do have a Sixer in this video, but not at point guard, so I do want to talk about the point guard situation. Another big thing here is Cameron Payne is questionable with an illness. He missed last game with an illness. He's clearly still not feeling well if he's still questionable, after missing a game. If he's out, we're going to want to look at Kyle Lowry, unfortunately. If Cameron Payne is in, we're going to have to see what happens, because Cameron Payne might, start, or I don't know what the hell they'll do. Right now, the projected starting lineup is Kyle Lowry, Buddy Hield, Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, Mo Bamba. That sounds about right. But if Payne is in, he could cut into Kyle Lowry a little bit. Regardless, it's just a situation you want to monitor. It's a 7:30 Eastern game, so hopefully we get that news, of Cameron Payne being ruled in or out for tonight. Shooting guard, I do like Duncan Robinson again, because his price hasn't moved. He's been playing really well in the absence of Tyler Hero. And it's a good matchup against the Pistons. They're 11.5-point favorites. A little bit of a blowout risk, but it's okay. I do think Duncan Robinson's going to play plenty. He's been playing 34 to 38 minutes a game over the last 4 games. He had 11 assists 4 games ago. That's just wild. But he needs 27 fantasy points to hit value. He's done that in his last 3 games. Again, he's playing well. He's playing a ton of minutes. I thought his price was going to be, about $6K or a little bit more. 5,600 looks like a pretty good value play as of right now, with no Josh Richardson and no Tyler Hero. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say was the after-hour slate also cooked last night too. Easy cash. Non-main slate was posted on my Dub Club. The link is below this video if you want to sign up for my Dub Club. Just $1 for your first week. I also just posted a Guru credit code on my Dub Club for all members to see. Posted a screenshot of what the code is. So, one of many benefits you get for being a subscriber on my Dub Club. So give that a look. You get a lot of extra, bets and non-main slate lineups for me. It's very affordable. Just, testing the waters more and more each day on Dub Club. Again, the link is below this video. Small forward, we're going to get back to the 76ers as my true play here at small forward. Tobias Harris just looks great all around. With no Maxey, no Joel Embiid, he steps up as the number one usage guy on this Sixers team. And, back in his days as on the Magic and when he's had huge, weeks for the Sixers, we've seen his price go 8,000 and above. We know he can be a 40 fantasy point per game kind of player, and he's going to have that chance to do it tonight with all the extra usage. 7,400 looks like a really good price on Tobias Harris. I'm assuming he's much cheaper on DraftKings because DraftKings hates pricing up Tobias Harris. I haven't even looked at DraftKings yet today, but 7,400, good matchup against the Nets. It's not a high over-under, but that's okay. He's going to see a ton of usage. Coming off of a 60 fantasy point game 2 games ago against the Hornets, 37.5 last game. He needs 37 to hit value tonight. He's going to project out for about 40 fantasy points. Just in this spot against the Nets with no Maxey and no Embiid, he is going to be a guy that they really draw a game plan for tonight in order to get the win on the road. Power forward, maybe the chalkiest play on the slate. He was one of the chalkiest plays last slate, and that was with Jakob Poeltl playing. No Scotty Barnes, now no Jakob Poeltl. Olynyk is expected to slide into this starting lineup. Now, last game, everyone thought Olynyk was going to start for Scotty Barnes, and it was actually Agbaji. So that wasn't great. He played only 26 minutes off the bench. Now that Poeltl's out, Olynyk is, they have to start Olynyk, right? Like, there's no one else they could start. Let me double check that. But regardless, he's going to see a lot of extra usage in a lot of minutes. They could start Chris Boucher, but they hate Chris Boucher. I would be shocked if they started Chris Boucher over Kelly Olynyk. They also just signed Kelly Olynyk to a 2-year extension for $26 million. So all signs pointing in Olynyk starting and being the chalkiest play on this slate. Just to add the cherry on top of everything, he can play both center and power forward on FanDuel, so it just makes it so easy to fit into your lineup. Olynyk, he's like a first guy in type of play. As soon as you open up FanDuel tonight and you have that blank sheet on your lineup, Olynyk should be the first guy you click on, and then you figure out, as you pick more guys, if you need to put him at center or keep him at power forward. But at 5,800, I don't see him not playing at least 30 minutes tonight. Needs 28 fantasy points to hit value. He's projected for like 35 fantasy points against the Pelicans. That's another plus here. The Pelicans are big. They have to start Olynyk. This is a really tough game for the Raptors to be without Jakob Poeltl and Scotty Barnes. You got Valanciunas and Zion. Right now they have RJ Barrett projected to start at power forward like they did last game with Gary Trent at shooting guard and Agbaji at small forward. I don't know. I don't know what they do here. There's an outside chance they start Olynyk and Boucher. RJ Barrett cannot cover Zion. So I don't know. These projected lineups have RJ at the 4. I don't know what they do. It's a 7:30 game. Maybe we get that news before lock, but regardless, Kelly Olynyk's going to look like a really, really good play tonight as a projected starter in seeing 30-plus minutes. And then for center, Şengün hasn't been, playing his best ball as of late, but his matchup couldn't be any better tonight. And there's a chance that Victor Wembanyama is out tonight. Even if Wembanyama's in, doesn't scare me. Şengün's going to see a ton of work tonight at home in a great matchup against this bad Spurs defense. We have a 228 over-under. The Rockets are 7.5-point favorites. Now, if Wembanyama is out, that spread might go to double digits. That's how big of a deal Wembanyama is. So, as of right now, with Wembanyama projected in, the spread is at 7.5. It could get a little risky for a blowout if Wemby is out. But regardless, Şengün at 8,200 is projected for 44 fantasy points tonight. He only needs 41 to hit value, averaging 42 on the season. One of his cheaper prices as of late. We've seen him reach $9K at times this year. 42 last game, 52 2 games ago. Played terrible against the Suns. Since the All-Star break, he's only hit value twice out of 6 games. So not the best form, but it's still Şengün. He's still one of the better big men in the league. Really good matchup, like I've said. Really just grading out well at 8,200. That'll do it for this video, guys. Again, like I've talked about in this video, we have a lot of stuff to wait on for injuries. Things can always change. But let's have another great night and roll over Monday night's winnings into tonight. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.